What is up, NerdzGotWordz Universe? It's your boys here at NerdzGotWordz, and today we're here to talk to you about Suicide Squad. Did Suicide Squad kill the movie just like they killed their audience by having us watch the first film? Or did they literally kill us by dropping a banger of a film that make us forget about the previous one? Did James Gunn save this franchise? Or despite his great directing, it was doomed just like the survival rate of the inmates put on the team? Before we talk about it, make sure you check out our introductory videos where you meet the crew, us, and, get to know us better and why we wanted to do it in the first place. And also, check out our How We Rate Movies so that you can understand our rating system, because we're about to bring it up and from here and every other podcast after. So before we get into that, I want to hear everyone's pre-thoughts going into the movie. Me first. Personally, I feel like I went in with pretty low expectations. I know it's James Gunn, and I knew he would have did a good job, but that first one was just a dumpster fuck piece of garbage that I didn't think it was going to be good. So for our ratings, I honestly thought it would have been once as good enough. The King Shark trailers made it, his little sections made it more and more interesting, but I still thought it would have been once as good enough. So what do you think, Mark?
Well, I personally haven't seen the first Suicide Squad, but
you're lucky.
Yeah, apparently I am. But just from what I've heard about the first one, I was like, I don't know if the second one would actually save the series or not. But I had no knowledge of what was going on in the first place, so I was just like, it'll be a meh for me. But I was very interested to see the King Shark after I saw the hand clip. So
for sure.
I just wanted the comedy relief.
What'd you think about it, Adrian?
Just by seeing the first trailers, I was going with a once is good enough because and no one wants to mention the first one. No one
literally
wants to mention the
my
first
same
one.
thoughts.
But my expectations kept getting higher and higher because they added James Gunn, and I believed in him being a good director because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Volume 2.
Yeah.
So I had high hopes. So little by little, when it was getting closer to release day, I was like, all right, I have high hopes.
If you can't make a good movie, just hire someone at Marvel that can.
Boom. And look, and now they contract him to make more DC movies too in the future. So we'll wait and see now.
What'd you think about it, Luis?
So going in, I thought I had high hopes. The moment DC hired James Gunn, I knew that they were finally caring about their franchises and wanting to turn over a new leaf. Like you guys just said, James Gunn, one of the Marvel's best directors. Guardians 1 was amazing. Guardians 2, also really good. I'm excited to see what he does for Guardians 3 now that he's finished Suicide Squad. So yeah, going in, I thought it was going to be an amazing movie. I had really high hopes. The trailer, oh my god, the first trailer, it was just amazing. And yeah.
So essentially, James Gunn was the guy that made you super excited about it, not the movie. Obviously the movie looks pretty interesting, but it was just James Gunn directing overall that kind of put you over the top.
I was ready for him to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
And honestly, it was going to be good.
I would have fucking watched it. It's just,
yep.
James Gunn's one of those directors, man, that he knows how to do it, he had his thing with Disney and they fired him for a moment, right? Which is when DC jumped in and were like, you need some work now. Like, all right,
he's the Messiah. Messiah, can you save our piece of shit of a franchise?
But yeah, and so I was very excited just for him, honestly. I was glad to see that they at least brought back Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang. I mean, when we get into further discussion, I guess, seriously, spoiler warning, right?
Spoiler alert.
I was going to say spoiler warning, but at this point...
R.I.P. Captain Boomerang, man.
I loved Captain Boomerang.
I understand why they had to kill him, right? They're trying to disassociate from the first movie at all. I think bringing him back was their clear way of showing that this wasn't really a reboot, but just sort of a, yeah, that happened, but we're not really gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I literally told Adrian before it started. I was like, "Listen, I think Captain Boomerang is gonna survive because he's funny and I love Captain Boomerang."
He barely came out in any trailers.
I know he was. We should have seen. Yeah, I should have guessed since he was barely in the in promotional stuff that he wasn't gonna survive. But I mean, he was my favorite part of the first movie.
Yeah, he literally was, and we'll get into this later. But I feel like King Shark essentially just filled his slot as the comedic relief.
Yeah,
and
I mean, granted, everybody's a comedic relief to an certain extent.
Yeah,
but, you know, King Shark is your dumb comedic relief.
Yeah, you're dumb brute. So okay, so let's just get right into it. So, the very start of the movie, everyone starts dying, and from that point on, personally, I thought that I just knew it was going to be a good movie because the point of Suicide Squad is no one is safe. That's the whole premise. They are a squad that the government is willing to sacrifice for the objective. And essentially, the fact that anyone could die at any time was really good. And that's, what I would have expected. I'll go to you first, Murph, since you're the only one alive right now.
Apparently.
What was your thoughts at the first 5 minutes of the movie? The guns blazing, everyone's just fucking dying, and I was like, whoa. What did you think of that?
Well, I didn't expect that, first of all. Just to see Pete Davidson's face blown off from the beginning, I was like,
"We had a deal, guys."
He's the one that snitched, and he got his face blown off. It was kind of
Snitches get blown up.
Yeah, snitches get blown up apparently. But no, it was just a bloody massacre from the beginning, and I didn't expect it, but at the same time, it was kind of funny, to be honest.
And why I think it's such a big deal is because Suicide Squad, the whole premise is it's a team of villains that they either do the task or they're going to die anyways, and they don't really care for them. So they're just, everyone's going to die. That's what you expect from a Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And in the first movie, barely anyone died. And when they died, it wasn't anything crazy. And so I feel like James Gunn watched the first one, realized that was a big fucking problem. So then in the first 5 minutes of this film, he's like, fuck this whole team for the first one. The only way to get rid of him is to kill him on screen. And
my question, though, what was the point of that hands dude?
Detachable man?
Yeah, detachable man. He just kind of slapped him.
Yeah, we'll let
TDK.
Well, in the comics,
pick up a gun. He's just like
in
bad army guy, bad.
In the comics, he's what the fuck's the name in the comics?
The detachable kid.
Yeah, detachable.
No,
He basically
he has a
said,
different. He has a different name in the
bad
comics.
guy.
He has a different name in the comics. I'm pretty sure he has a different name in the comics.
All right. Anyways,
But
He got done
arm fall off boy. I kid you fucking not. That's his fucking name.
Is that his actual name?
Yeah, arm fall off boy.
Well,
I kid you not. Watch.
his legs detached too, though.
Well, they don't use it. They don't use an acronym in the. Yeah, see, look, arm fall off boy.
Yeah,
that's literally
his
his name in the comic book.
Yep.
Huh?
That's why they changed it to TDK because his name's fucking dumb in the fucking comic books. It's arm fall off boy.
Oh,
Well,
okay. I kind of would have laughed.
Yeah, he's useless.
We're going down.
All right. What about you, Adrian? Star of the movie, guns blazing, everyone's fucking dying. What'd you think of just that scene?
That one scene, Captain Boomerang, they killed him.
I know he.
Like
why, James Gunn? Why?
Like an OG character.
They didn't even show his unicorn, his fluffy unicorn.
Forgot about that unicorn.
Yeah, I expected him to have it out of his pocket as he's about to die.
A fluffy unicorn?
Uh-huh,
Wait,
that's his memento.
Yeah, in the first one.
That was
Because you haven't seen the first one.
Yeah, I was like,
you gotta watch it. You gotta
Yeah,
watch
but
he basically was like Deadpool. He had a funny unicorn.
Yeah.
Well, he did it before Deadpool. I mean, Suicide Squad came out before Deadpool, right?
even in the comics, he has
Suicide Squad the first Suicide Squad came out before Deadpool. I think Suicide Squad was 2016. Deadpool was 2018.
I think you're thinking of Deadpool too.
Continue.
Anyway.
But basically, the whole premise is like that idea was to show that anyone can die at any time, and essentially that was just James Gunn erasing the first movie's existence by killing everyone that was essentially
I know, but
involved in the
I
first
wouldn't say
part.
it was racing, but it's just sort of
Cleaning house?
Cleaning house, you know.
But in all honesty, it was only one original character that got killed, like, at the very beginning.
Yeah,
they
that's
came out
true.
the same year?
So it's not like he wiped out, like, the whole squad.
Shy in the Sky just said that,
Shy in the Sky.
it rhymes. Leave it.
Well,
Yo,
that
I
girl
kind
is
of
my
like
two
that.
names, because my middle name
Yeah,
is
her
Sky.
middle
Shy
name
in the
is
Sky
Sky.
with diamonds. Me and Shy are Beatles fans. She gets it.
bright like a diamond.
Wrong one.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
You started it.
Anyways. Yes, Shy?
They came out the same year.
Deadpool and Suicide Squad came out the same year. So we had
They both came out 2016.
2016. What a year for unicorns. Fortnite, Suicide
For unicorn.
Yeah, that's true.
The year of the unicorn.
Who knew?
Are you gonna ask me?
Oh no, I was just, what is your first thoughts? I mean, you just went off on a fucking rant. Continue your thought.
The first 5 minutes going in, so I was hooked just by the first scene with Michael Rooker as I forget his character's name, but just that scene. It represented a lot, I think, to James Gunn, being as I lost my train of thought. Got distracted here.
This is why we don't have
He
visual
made the
yet.
title pop out, basically, in the beginning, the first 5 minutes of the scene.
Yeah. And it was I like that we hit the floor guns blazing. One downfall of the first Suicide Squad was just all the fucking exposition. Everyone,
Barely anyone died, too.
everyone, I think Slipknot was the first one to die, and it was in a lame ass way. He was just like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving," and then boom, dead. Like,
Yeah.
come on. And this case, straight from the start, we saw how Amanda Waller was just like,
Didn't give a fuck.
even more than the first movie. She just did not give a
Which,
fuck.
by the way,
Also, can I just say my
fucking killing it as Amanda Waller.
Oh, dude!
The best Amanda Waller.
What's her name? Viola Davis.
Yeah.
She's a tremendous actress, man.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Can I say that I fucking love the Weasel?
Yeah.
I fucking love Weasel, bro. That shit was funny. Did anybody check if Weasel can swim? They're all just fucking sitting there like, can I say how, since we brought up Deadpool, how the workers were doing their own Deadpool betting to see who's gonna die first? I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyways, proceed.
Yeah, so basically that whole scene was just cleaning house for James Gunn to move on with the film, and I thought that scene was... after that scene, I was like, okay, so now this is an actual Suicide Squad movie. Now anyone could die at any point. And so, let's just get it out of the way. The most, quote-unquote, the most important character, Harley Quinn, also known as the immortal goddess, apparently, because she, there was no moment where I thought Harley Quinn was going to die at all. I think the only way she's going to die is if her contract is up and she doesn't want to redo it again. What do you guys think about, Harley Quinn in this film? I felt like she had more important, in the first one she was just there, and then this one it's like, with the javelin, it's like she was
I think
a big part of it.
I think so. She first popped up. Did she first pop up in Suicide Squad? She didn't pop up in BVS, right? No,
just Suicide Squad,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when she popped up in Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie, she was born to play Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. And
She's doing great at it.
For what the first Suicide Squad script was, she did wonders with it. And then we got the Birds of Prey movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
That one was good.
Yeah.
But I will say that her story and the way she was portrayed in this movie did what Birds of Prey wanted to do way better. And again, that's not to take away from Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was, like I said, I fucking love the movie. Birds of Prey is like an 8 out of 10 for me. It was fun, bombastic, just full of energy. That fight scene in the police station was amazing.
Bombastic. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man, I'm old as fuck, bro. And in this movie, we got I think the best representation we've had of her lunacy, right?
Yeah.
Because you got, I think a lot of people
She's
forget,
killing all those people and butterflies and
Yeah,
stuff are
and
flying out.
and it said that, that's how she envisions everything, right? Because a lot of people forget, she's insane.
Yeah.
She's fucking crazy.
It also showed how much of a badass she was.
Yeah, but you know, I feel like a lot of the times we forget that she's actually a crazy character, and I think that was really portrayed when she killed the guy, right? She took a very positive mindset to the farthest extreme that you could take it, which is like, red flag, I'm gonna leave. In her case, red flag,
I gotta fucking
fuck
kill
you
him.
getting a bullet, dog. Like again, very positive mindset, right? She sees a red flag. She doesn't want to fall back into a toxic relationship that she had with the Joker. Because again, I mean, this is personal. No, I hate when people glorify the Joker Harley Quinn relationship, because that shit's toxic as fuck. Like, the Joker is a terrible fucking human being and a terrible fucking boyfriend.
And then at the end, she's just like, "Huh, it had a bullet in it." Like she was just like, "Oh shit, what if it didn't have a bullet?"
Yeah, I know. She did.
She's just that crazy.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just like it shows that she has grown as a character, but it also still reminds you that at the end of the day, she is Harley Quinn, and she is just doing things to like the most extreme that you would think. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I loved about her character in this movie. That it was very well thought, very very well written, and I wouldn't say she's the most important character in this. I feel like every character in this movie had their
they had their equal of importance.
They had their equal importance. Personally, I didn't see her as like the main character or anything. I mainly saw
she was off screen a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that was good. I think that helped her character. I mainly saw Bloodsport.
And we got Ratcatcher instead.
I love Ratcatcher. Ratcatcher might have been my favorite character in the whole movie, to be honest.
Actually, no, I think Polka Dot Man was mine.
He was so great.
He was great. It was amazing.
Well, what did you think of Harley Quinn? And I'm saying, like, immortal goddess. I'm not trying to say that I want her to die, because she's so iconic for Harley Quinn, similar to Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. Like, they're just, that's their character, that's them. And they play it well.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying, I want her to die or anything. If she ends up surviving every single one, even if we're on Suicide Squad 8 or whatever, cool, I don't care. But I just, I just think that she's really cool. What do you think, Adrian?
I like her as a character, especially with how much she's changed from like the first Suicide Squad to Birds of Prey, and now finally the second Suicide Squad. So you saw her in like the first Suicide Squad. She was like a crazy character who was in love with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And then terrible wrong guy. And then on her solo movie for Birds of Prey, she turns out she's like fixing all those issues. Like she said, screw the Joker, all that crap, and develops like a whole new personality, a whole new trait, and just a whole new movie.
Yeah.
And then after figuring out what she was doing wrong and like what she like could do now, she goes back to Suicide Squad 2, and now you see her as a different person with all these like Louis said, knowing when to see a red flag. In her own crazy way.
Yeah, when you really think about it, this movie had introduced to us a lot of characters, but it kind of like revamped Harley Quinn's character from the first one, because the first one was like, okay, cool, Harley Quinn's there, and then this one's like, Harley Quinn is in it. Great.
I don't know if you're gonna bring up Rick Flag later on in the discussion, but I think Rick Flag also got a big character boost.
Yeah, that's
what I was one from his
he's definitely coming down there. But what did you think of Harley Quinn? I mean, you didn't see the first one, so just seeing Harley Quinn for who she is in this one, what did you think?
Well, he's right. I haven't seen the first one, but I will say that I did see how she became Harley Quinn from the first Suicide Squad. And that whole scene with her and Mr. J, as she puts it, that whole relationship, even in the cartoons, was just toxic.
Yeah.
In general. But in the cartoons, it was funnier, in a way. And when she had her own spin-off movie, Birds of Prey, when her and the Joker broke up, we saw a big character development and a character boost from her as like this badass, like independent woman, and even in this one, I knew she wasn't gonna die. Like that was the safest bet.
She was getting shot out. Everyone else was dying. I was like, okay, her and Rick Flag are probably gonna be the ones that survive.
Yeah, and
I was like, there's no fucking way yellow orange shoot javelin Australian boy is walking out of there. I'm sorry. He's gonna throw his javelin. He's gonna be like, excuse me.
Man.
Can I get that back so I can do it again?
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
Can I just say I wanted more javelin. I wanted more food.
Yeah.
And he's just like, when he's died, he's like, take my javelin. Like, when the time's right, you will know what to do with it. And she's just like, what?
She's like smacking him. Wake up! You didn't finish your thought.
like, what am I supposed to do with this? But yeah, I mean, unless she goes back to the Joker, which I don't think is gonna happen.
No.
She's gonna be in more Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Things if they start to do more movies about it, or if they do other movies with Batman in it.
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Let's just get to the.
Yeah.
Let's get to what I'm really here for.
Let's get to the character that Murph, the only character Murph wants to talk about, the main man himself, King Shark. Well, I guess the main Finn himself. You know, King Shark was just hilarious. The comedy, you know, he was just the comedy relief. And throughout the film, they were teasing us. They were straight up teasing us. They kept being like, he's gonna die. Oh, he's gonna die. And I was like, is he gonna die? And then he manages to live. So, Murph, you know, just go ahead. King Shark, what'd you think of him?
Yes. No, Nawe was very good. He was by far my favorite character, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, we all know you like the comedy relief people.
Yeah.
What was his real name?
Nanawe.
Nanawe. Yeah.
Love that guy.
He's allegedly the king of all sharks, and there was a
Nom nom?
There was a meme that I saw that there was a petition in Aquaman that wanted to replace Mera with Nanawe. And I was like,
I saw the picture.
I'm all for it, but no.
Replace Amber Heard's character with this King Shark.
Even when I knew he was gonna be. I knew he was gonna be a good character when they were in the debriefing and he just had a question, just raised his hand. He's like, hand.
I don't think he had a question. He just wanted to be acknowledged.
He's like, hand. And
She was like,
yes, Nanawe, that's your hand. Very good.
That's how you just know Amanda Waller doesn't give a fuck.
And he was just reading the book upside down when we first met him.
Reading fun.
He tried to eat the
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher, yes, Ratcatcher. When they on their first night, he's has her mid mouth open. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, huh? It's like, put her down. It's like, okay, no, we're hungry.
Yeah, King Shark was just hilarious. Like I was bringing up earlier, there was countless scenes that James Gunn intentionally did to make us think he was gonna die.
Yeah.
And everyone was gonna be like, is he gonna die? And then he manages to survive, and we're all like, oh, okay, thank God.
Ratcatcher was a very good character because she related to Nanawe, and she's like, do you have any friends? Like, no. Like, would you eat your friends if you had any? Like, no.
He thought about it.
He thought about it for a second. He's just like, no. So
He's like, yeah. But what about you, Adrian? King Shark.
King Shark.
What'd you think?
Obviously the best character in that whole movie.
Yeah, Lisa Luna, the Ratcatcher. I was like, shut up. we all know it's King Shark.
It's King Shark, to be honest.
He was just his comedy just kind of like, because he's dumb, so it just kind of flowed. And he was just like, fake mustache. And they're like, no, it's just his hand. They're like, that doesn't help. But
then when he said, "see," and I was like, oh, look, he's learning Spanish now. Like, no, King Shark, hilarious. He made, every time he popped out, you were just expecting it, we're waiting for him to say something stupid.
Yeah, those little freaking guppy things that were eating him.
Figurine
Out of the C4.
Like, peacemaker.
Yeah.
like, no, that is not me. Although that is very nice.
Exactly. But I hope we see him for many more movies to come, not just this one.
He's not like a Captain Boomerang where he gets replaced.
I hope not. I hope they don't do that because that would suck. But
imagine him and Captain Boomerang.
He fell from like the highest tower. He got hit by rocks.
He got ate by guppies.
By those weird things.
And he still survived.
And he got barraged by machine gun fire. And he survived. Yeah, somehow.
So I think that was James Gunn just teasing us, making us think that he was going to die. Luis, what do you think about King Shark?
I loved him. I thought he was a great character. Easy way to get in that sort of like very simple comic relief in because it's
everyone's dying left
King
and
Shark,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mean like the type of comedy, right? Like it's easier to get away with that sort of like the like simple dumb like oh my hand my sort of like fart joke type of comedy out of somebody that isn't human, because I feel like if you replace the novel with like a human character and you try to do the same type of comedy,
Boomerang wouldn't have said that stuff.
Yeah, it would just come off like super corny and shit. But because you established Nanawe as this sort of just shark that can speak, right? When you look at like other adaptations of King Shark, they always try to go for that like, oh, this guy's like smart and he can talk and shit. But it was a nice little compromise of like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn and King Shark in there. He's more articulate, but he's very thoughtful. And he's also very funny and whatnot. And I think they sort of aggressive. I think they did a nice little mix of like a nice way of dumbing him down even a little bit more. And I thought it was great, and like when the first thing when we see him and he's reading that book, the book that he's trying to read is a very I forget the title of the book. But a lot of people have pointed out that that's a book that talks about very high level conceptualisms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like Nanawe is the son of a god, and that book talks about religions and stuff. So it's like he's trying his best. Like it shows that he can think more than just simple thoughts. And that's what I like. That you get the funny comedic reliefs, but you see that he tries his best.
He's dumb, but he's trying to not be dumb. Like he's trying to learn and understand.
Yeah, he's trying to understand the human idiosyncrasies that obviously a fucking shark isn't gonna know. A shark god isn't gonna know. And that's why I enjoyed. He was funny at times, but we saw character growth as well.
He said nom nom and he would have just ate him, but then they were like no, and he didn't eat him, so there we go.
And so I'm very excited to see him in future projects. I think we're only going to see him in Suicide Squad. I don't think he'll be in other movies. Maybe if they do another Harley Quinn movie to the vein of the Harley Quinn TV show, we could potentially see him. But I think he'll just be a Suicide Squad character for the time being.
I mean, who knows if he will even survive in the third one. I'm hoping
I think he will.
Knows?
I mean,
he's very popular.
You know what? He could die though because it would be an easy emotional kick in the gut for the audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although I would think it'd be very cheap, right? But it's sort of like when Groot passed away in the first Guardians movie. Everybody fell in love with Groot. The lovable goof and stuff. And then, although we saw at the end, he could be regrown. But when in that moment when you see him die, you're just like, oh fuck, you get attached to this character, and then they kill him off. I think maybe that's how they could do it. It would be an easy emotional punch in the gut for the audience. I can see them doing that potentially, maybe in future sequels. But for the time being, I think he's gonna be in the sequel for sure. We might see him pop up in the Peacemaker show.
Oh yeah.
James Gunn has already said that a lot of characters from the movie will pop up in the Peacemaker show. I think they already finished filming, and it's in post-production because it drops in January, if I'm not mistaken. The Peacemaker show drops in January. We'll get to Peacemaker and all that later. But yeah, I loved King Shark Nanawe in this movie. It was very fun character.
For sure. Now, so let's get to the leader, Bloodsport. Was he the key character that? Like, was he the leader that they needed, or could it have been somebody else? Like, I think he killed it as a leader, Outside of Colonel Flag, or whatever his rank was. He essentially was like a background. Let's be honest, like he's really good at shooting, and that's kind of what Will Smith's character in the first one was. He's really good at shooting. You know, you literally have a killer shark, a chick that can kill you with 1,000 rats. John Cena, you got John Cena. And you got a guy that has to throw up polka dots every 2 days, or no, twice a day. Otherwise, he's gonna die. You know, was Bloodsport more important than he needed to be, or was he just the perfect leader out of the bunch? We'll go you first, Adrian. What do you think of Bloodsport's character? First off, his mask was fucking awesome, and
His whole suit was amazing.
And the fact that his mask broke, I was like, oh damn. What'd you think of that?
No, he was great. He was a great character. He filled in the leader role very well.
Definitely.
If you remember, they were talking about how him and what was the other guy's name? The other leader of the original Suicide Squad.
Bloodshot.
No,
Nate?
the military dude, Captain.
Oh, Colonel Flag.
It's Colonel.
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag. Oh, Rick Flag. Yeah, they talked about how they used to know each other back when their military days.
Yeah.
So it like kind of filled in like, oh, he's gonna obviously like replace the leader role.
It was Amanda Waller putting two guys that she knows that can get shit done on both teams.
Exactly.
Except she didn't tell Flag that he was the one team that was gonna get fucking obliterated.
Exactly. But no, him just popping up as Bloodsport, Idris Elba. I think he played that character very well. The whole like, and then his phobia of rats.
And of course he's on a team with rats.
Yeah, no, like that whole and
You didn't tell me about this. I'm an assassin. I don't reveal my weaknesses.
Exactly. And the fact that he ends up getting close to the one person who controls all these rats.
Yeah, that's his own character development.
It's his own character development.
He, his whole psych profile said he was a leader, and he kept refusing and denying it. And it turns out he was the leader they needed in the end. And by the way, his fucking like transformer gun, whatever that was,
it looks
that
like
was
nanotech
awesome.
weapons. Yeah, no, they all like he just kept pulling it from like all over his body, like from armor.
That thing was cool. Luis, what do you think of Bloodsport?
I thought he was,
and just like his role in the team.
So I mean, if we look at it from the outside looking in, right? His role essentially, his role essentially was replacing Will Smith, right? We needed a new shooter, and I think he did it great. I think it was a good choice rather than recasting Will Smith.
Well, he said he didn't want to come back anyway.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and movie wise, I thought he was great. His motivation, right? His daughter. I mean, that whole interaction with Amanda Waller, I think it really showed how she doesn't give a fuck. Like to her,
she had
it's
a
the
fucking
mission.
like basically a knife pen or whatever at her throat, and they all have like machine stand down. Like
I mean, not just that part. I mean, the fact that she said that it'd be a shame if your daughter goes to jail, and then who knows, she might fucking die there.
Yeah,
like
she's 16.
She was willing to kill his daughter if he didn't sign up. A fucking child. Like I think that was a good show of how Amanda Waller is really just about the mission, just about protecting U.S. interests. Which I mean, I hope we get to that. How the true villain of the movie is the U.S. fucking government, as it should be. And that whole interaction, how Bloodsport, right?
Bloodsport.
Fucking up his name. Bloodsport. I'll just think of the John Claude Van Damme movie. That's all I remember. Bloodsport. How Blood. Also, I'm getting a little tangent, but also a really good song by one of the guys that acted in Game of Thrones. I'll look it up later. But Bloodsport, he reluctant. I mean, he doesn't want his daughter to fucking die, and he's just like, gotta fucking do it, right?
Yeah, he goes in to save his daughter, and he actually comes out with the team.
Yeah, he comes out with a team, and also I think his interactions with Ratcatcher 2 was very reflective of how I think he wants to be with his daughter. I saw it in that way too, how Ratcatcher 2 being
her dad fucking OD'd.
yeah, and then also Ratcatcher 2 having missing a father figure. Here comes this guy who is trying his best to be a father figure and a leader. It was a perfect pairing, I think, of their friendship. He definitely, for sure, saw his daughter in Ratcatcher 2, and I think that's why he protected her very strongly. he came into his own as a leader and whatnot. And I love that character development. It was great.
Yeah, he essentially developed the most out of everybody, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he overcame his phobia and whatnot of the rats, and you know how he explained it, how like his dad would torture him in that way, and I think that was also reflective of
his upbringing.
And also you know his relationship with his daughter and whatnot, right? How like his daughter doesn't like the fact that her father's a killer and whatnot, and we see it at the end when she's just proud of seeing her dad being a hero for once, and I thought that was a touching moment, and yeah, overcoming that phobia was him overcoming his childhood trauma, and I thought that was great. Great character development. I can't wait to see him in future movies.
What'd you think about it, Murph?
No, we're done talking about Nanawe. I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
Sit down. This is your house. Where are you gonna go?
That's very true. I'm gonna go to my room. No, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna play PlayStation. No, I'm just kidding. No, I thought Bloodsport. I was about to say Bloodshot. But I thought Bloodshot's character was very good. Idris Elba is one of my favorite actors ever, and it just any role that he plays, he does well.
Yeah,
and I think that just the fact that he was in prison solely based off of he put Superman into the ICU with a kryptonite bullet, that alone should tell you like, hey, he's somebody who you shouldn't mess with, you know.
Yeah,
that was astonishing to me, and he definitely didn't want to lead, but in the end he was the leader that the group needed in a way, you know what I mean?
I mean, who's gonna step up? Peacemaker.
Yeah,
we know how that one turned out.
Nobody else was gonna do it, so he's just like, I guess I'll do it then. But no, just the fact with that scene with him and Peacemaker, just to show you how many weapons he has, even in that mob scene where the town is like consumed with the starfish on their head.
The stars.
Yeah, and he pulled out all the stops, just like with his armor, just attaching weapons on it left and right. That was awesome to me.
If I could add one thing, since you mentioned, comparing him to Peacemaker, how also those two characters parallel so well, and including also Rick Flag, how we know Amanda Waller at the end of the day was just double crossing everybody. Her main goal was having Peacemaker secure the files so they wouldn't get out and the U.S. government wouldn't be tarnished. And how Rick Flag and Bloodsport, having worked together, they were like, no, this isn't right. And I think that, when we talk about the proper leader of the group, how Bloodsport had that. It's sort of like the Steve Rogers thing, right? That selflessness, right? And I think Bloodsport, he always knew he had it in him, but maybe just because of his upbringing and his mercenary jobs, he never really fully tapped into it. But in this...
He killed for money.
Homeboy pulled a Loki.
Yeah, but in this case...
Selfishness to selflessness.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's also great about his character, and that contrast between him and Peacemaker. How Peacemaker, yeah, he's about, peace and stuff, but strictly for like U.S. interests, right? Like he's just I'll do anything. And my man will fucking gobble up all the fucking dicks on the beach if he fucking has to. This man said, "I'm gonna bring gonorrhea for this shit."
I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
As long as
I love peace above all else.
Yeah, and so I think that juxtaposition was great, and James Gunn definitely did that shit on purpose. At putting those two ideals really to the test at the end of the day. Was great.
Yeah, well, let's get into Peacemaker because he's literally next on the show. Okay, so the main thing I want out of Peacemaker is essentially his betrayal. What I want to know is, did you see it coming or were you surprised? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I knew there was gonna be some level of a betrayal. Like Amanda Waller, she does it's like a mission within a mission within a mission, and she doesn't care how it gets done, as long as it gets done. And essentially, I personally was I was surprised without being surprised. If it was anyone that was going to betray the team, it had to be Peacemaker because of his ideology of peace. And when they found out it was the U.S. mission, I was like, okay, it's got to be Peacemaker because he holds peace above all else. And if that gets leaked, that's not peace, that's chaos. So the fact that he became the betrayer, I was not surprised. I'll let you get into it, Luis. What did you think? Were you surprised by Peacemaker's betrayal?
I was. That twist actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. I was so distracted with the Thinker explaining the whole Starro backstory and whatnot.
I told Lindsay when we were watching, I was like, he's basically just, his name is Screwhead now. He's got so many screwdrivers in his head. I was like, Lindsay, it's Screwhead. That's just what it is. How does he think better with that?
Screwy.
Hey man, the comic book's a comic book, bro.
The brain is a mysterious thing.
Comic book reasons, bro.
Yeah.
Well, in the comics, they're actual. I forget what the fuck they're called, but they do make them think.
Yeah.
Better. But that twist
like
surprised me.
Stimulus things.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways,
but like you said, it makes sense, right? That the betrayal would come from that character.
Yeah.
For obviously, like I mentioned earlier, serving the purpose for U.S. interests, right? Peace, but red, white, and blue, baby. Like that.
Yeah.
And it's like John Cena even said it during press junkets before the movie came out that Peacemaker is like Captain America fucking off the rails, right? Like he's essentially that. He's Captain America, but to a whole nother fucking level of extreme, And I'm excited, but I will say John Cena definitely played the role perfectly. I think John Cena's finally coming into his zone in terms of what acting roles he can do.
Just like The Rock.
Yeah, and it's like John Cena has. It started with that Amy Schumer movie. I forget what it's called. But we saw snippets of this character portrayal.
Trainwreck?
Trainwreck, yeah,
Trainwreck.
Where he was very comedic in that movie, and then here he's able to, take his action side. I fucking love 2008's The Marine. Little Yeti fucking loved WWE back in the day, and when that movie came out, let me tell you, I was in theaters ready to see The Marine. But
you were even there for every trailer, huh? You were that excited.
Damn right, man. But so I think he's finally coming into his own, being a comedic actor, action star, and from what I've heard, the Peacemaker TV show is going to be fucking amazing. I am so excited.
Is it starting from where the end end
credits
scene?
So pretty much like the end credit scene that we saw in Suicide Squad is
he was in the hospital recovering.
Yeah, and so pretty much those two characters that we saw, overseeing him, they're gonna be with him carrying out a mission to save the world, essentially. So it's gonna be great. I love the character. It's gonna be great.
What did you think of Peacemaker, Adrian?
It was weird though, floating helmet all the time.
What was it? A toilet? What did he call it? A
toilet seat.
Toilet seat or toilet head?
Toilet seat. Or
I don't know, but
I assume it's multiple toilet references.
He's like, no, it's a helmet to hold the piece.
No, toilet bowl.
I'm sorry, but the way I saw Peacekeeper, I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. He's gonna like twist everything on the Suicide Squad.
So he was the bad Peacemaker was the bad guy within the bad guy.
Exactly. Even though they're all bad guys.
Yeah.
But he was the bad guy that was gonna turn against all the other bad guys. But I'm sorry, but every time I just see John Cena in any movie, I just see him as the asshole. He has that asshole face.
And you think that's just that, like what Luis was bringing up? You think that's his role, is to be like the asshole without being the asshole?
Hell
Yeah, I think so too. I literally think so too.
He's a funny asshole.
He's like what Taskmaster is supposed to be, like a nonchalant asshole, essentially.
Yeah, I fucking love that scene between him and Bloodsport
when they're killing everybody in the
everybody they're not supposed to kill.
Yeah.
They're just having a fucking.
Why didn't my men alert you? They went to Costco.
There was no people there.
No people there.
No, but
Were there men there? We didn't see anything.
Maybe they went to Costco.
I want to rewatch that scene now.
Yeah, that scene. That was the best scene in the whole film, easily.
the little competition scene.
I would say I liked his fight with Bloods. Was it with Bloods?
Yeah, it was Blood.
Well, when they literally filmed it all on the helmet, because that was a cool ass scene.
That was Rick Flag.
It was Rick Flag.
Flag.
That fucking scene was amazing. That cinematography. Oh man, the cinematography in the movie just in general was just amazing.
I was confused. I was like, wait, is this a DC film? Like, what is going on here? They don't do
James
that.
Gunn, baby.
James
Gunn, baby.
James Gunn magic.
When it doesn't work,
Gunn
hire
magic,
somebody
man.
from Marvel to get shit done.
Hey man.
I mean, now he has more work.
Nick,
Good for
what do
him.
you
Well-
think about Peacemaker?
Yeah, what'd you think?
Well, I liked him at first. But,
Oh, so now you got beef with him just because he has his ideals?
yes, I do actually. But no, I liked him at first. He's a badass first and foremost. No matter what I think about him, he's a badass regardless. And I'm not gonna lie, it did surprise me to see him betray the squad, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know what? I kind of hope he dies now.
I mean, he got shot, like, the bullet went through the other bullet and into his neck. I was like, all right, he's done.
He literally fell, and he was like he was on his last breath, and he just died.
Let me just say, I was like, I'm going to jump in this fucking screen if he kills Ratcatcher 2 right now.
I know.
I would
exactly.
I was like, I'm pretty sure we all would have jumped his ass. He would have killed all of us, but I don't care.
I agree with his ideal of peace, but I'm like, yeah.
But you agree with it?
I said but.
But you're still agreeing with it.
I mean, Luis essentially dropped the perfect analogy of Suicide Squad in that he's Captain America if he went off the rails.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the best analogy I've heard for him.
I tell you what, he's John Walker. He's John Walker. He's John Walker.
Yep.
John Walker, Captain
Seriously.
America.
Yeah. He's
but-
John Walker.
But continue, Nick.
He's just. I wanted him to die after he killed Rick Flag. I liked Rick Flag a lot.
I know when
I
John
wanted
Black
to cry,
died.
Yeah,
bro.
that's
I wanted
literally
to- I was
that's
like,
literally my next point.
I was like,
When Harley
that's
said
literally.
he was my friend, I was like, God, fucking
Yeah.
damn
And
it.
like he was
Yeah.
mine too.
let's
Right
get
here, man.
let's
Right
get
here.
right into it. The thoughts of the
Right.
end of Rick Flag. So, even though he was a part of Suicide Squad, like, what do you guys think about that? Did he have to die?
I don't think
No,
so.
he didn't
I
have
feel
to
like
die.
that's an unnecessary
I
death.
hope they bring him back, man, somehow.
So here's what I thought with the
Oh.
hospital with the hospital bed. I just quickly glanced at it. I was like, what if I thought I was like, is it Rick Flag? And then it happened to be
Same.
fucking Peacemaker.
I think they did that on purpose. I think
They
everybody
did.
thought it was
Oh,
like,
they
It was
did.
gonna be Rick
They
Flag, yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
But yeah, I think it sucks. I kind of get it for the story, right? I kind of get it.
You know, because Bloodsport's now the new leader. Why
Yeah.
Rick Flag was the old leader, I
But
get
hey, look, it's
But
a comic
why?
book movie, man. Comic's gonna comic. He'll come back somehow. Throw him in the Lazarus pit. Throw him in the. Toss him in.
it. Yeah, and then he also, you know, what he said to Peacemaker. He's like, peace. You know, it's like, what a joke. And I was like, damn. You know, at least he. You know,
What
that's
is
a Rick
peace,
Flag
bro?
move to talk shit when you're literally dead.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah, man.
what'd you think, Adrian? Necessary?
It
Unnecessary?
wasn't. I don't think it was at all. He was perfect for the
At
Suicide
least
Squad.
it was a kind of a badass fight scene.
At least he got
Here's what I thought going in. Obviously, Harley's not gonna die. There's no way they're killing King Shark. Captain Boomerang was gonna live, and Rick Flag, and 2 of the 4 died.
Yeah.
They just didn't.
What'd you think about his death,
doing
Mark?
that dirty.
It was completely unnecessary. I wanted him to survive so bad because I liked besides Nanawe, I liked him the most.
He was kind of outside of Ratcatcher 2, which I'll get into later. He was kind of the consciousness of the team. Like
Yeah.
they just want to go batshit crazy and fucking just kill everybody, which what we saw with the Rebel Force.
The Rebel Force, yeah.
When they stormed the palace, I was like, wait, they still have guys left? I thought they killed everybody. But
even when they tried to rescue Harley, he was just like, all right, we're gonna enter on my mark. Then Harley comes out. She's like, what are you guys doing? He's like, what?
which was the
trying to rescue you.
I can go back inside. After she killed everyone, I can go back inside.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know Peacemaker's crazy because fucking I got a target right now. And it's like some random.
I know.
It
was a maid.
It was a
He's a maid. He's like, I got
eyes on one, and he's like,
I got a shot right now. Just say the word, Commander.
he basically wanted to already kill her.
For no apparent reason.
Even though she didn't do anything.
Yeah, Rick Flag was the consciousness. I guess his leader role was no longer needed, but that doesn't mean he had to die.
Even though Peacemaker killed him, that was a badass fight scene.
That was a cool fight
on
scene.
the toilet bowl, by the way.
With all the stars just like.
When you think about it, though, it kind of was necessary. I think they set it up and nobody realized it, but when they said that, like, they pointed out the fact that, like, him and Rick Flag worked together, I think that should have been the first clue.
So it was unnecessary while being necessary.
Yeah, because, let's say Bloodsport still has the same character development, right? He becomes a leader, but you still have Rick Flag.
You can't have two leaders.
You can't have two leaders.
I mean, unless Rick Flag knows, and he's just going to be the leader of another team that just dies at the beginning.
In a way, Rick Flag's death is kind of what pushed
Bloodsport to be the leader.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Unnecessary.
He died for character development.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope they
an anime class.
I hope he comes
the
back.
The power of friendships.
Yeah.
Good old anime trope.
I hope he comes
That won't
back.
work,
But at this point,
if he
like,
comes back,
he died and then a building
fell
collapsed on him. So like, I doubt it.
It's also true.
If
How are they gonna find the body?
Yeah. If he died,
Magic,
if he came back, that was cool. But if his character's done, I'm okay with it. All right, let's get into the other kind of comedy relief character, and that is Polka Dot Man. Was his mom necessary, or was that just funny?
That was just funny, in my honest opinion. Oh, now where is your mom?
And
everywhere.
And I watched Adrian, and Shy and them came over and we watched it, and Adrian called what I thought was not going to happen, and that he died a heroic death. So I'll let you start off with that one. First off, his mom was funny as hell. I'm just asking the question to put it out there, but it was definitely necessary when Star was destroying the building and they make it his mom.
Giant
while he's obliterating it.
I thought
he died a heroic death. However, I thought he would pop off more. It's like he hurt Star. It's like, aha, I'm a hero now. I thought he would have freaking unleashed that shit like a fucking machine gun and just start blasting everywhere. That's your mom. Yeah, Adrian, pop off. Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
Thoughts on the character and thoughts on how he died.
Another good character. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Too. The fact that he literally, like, when he started, like, having all his polka dots come out of his body.
Got like some, it's
like giant light.
It's
like if you swallow like light
lumps.
Yeah.
I watched it again with Lindsay. I told her it's like his face was just a fucking bag of Skittles.
Light of Skittles.
Yeah, and I like how it's just a big old swells and then he throws up. He's like, I'm good, guys. It's like when you get drunk and then you throw up and then you feel better.
No, remember when the first time they popped out and he was like, what the hell's that? And I was like, it's a rash. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a rash.
Is it weird that I thought they looked like dots? The ice cream?
Dots?
Dippin' Dots? You thought they looked like Dippin' Dots?
I want some Dippin' Dots and shit. I thought it was clear that he was gonna fucking die.
No, yeah, like deep down I knew he was gonna die.
I expected him to die. I had a feeling he was gonna die towards the end. I thought he
that's also true, yeah.
I thought he was gonna die early.
I was not expecting him to become like as major of a character as he did. But his death, Adrian, you predicted it.
Heroic death. It was like if he's not gonna die soon, he's gonna have a heroic death.
Either Dippin' Dots or the actual candy dots.
Candy dots.
Yeah.
Or that's some nerds.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
He's just the analogies of the film. There's just so many things you can compare to his face. What about you, Luis? You thought he would die earlier? At what point? Where did you think?
I thought early on.
I thought he was gonna die in the building or something.
I thought he was gonna die like I don't know, sometime after they rescued Rick Flag.
You thought he was just
gonna be that? I thought he was gonna die because of his condition. I thought they were setting that up to be like the joke. Like something happened, he couldn't like expel the polka dots.
Yeah.
And then
he got too drunk at the bar and he
yes.
A random stupid death.
But I'm glad he didn't die so soon. It was a nice character to see develop throughout the movie.
Out of all the people, for me, I thought he was that guy that just at any point, just a sniper would just randomly take him out, and then they'd be like, "Oh shit, we're getting shot at!" Like I just thought that he would be the guy that would have died. I'm glad we got to see more of him. The thing with his mom was just hilarious.
Like taking mommy issues to the next level.
Yeah, and I thought his backstory was like super interesting.
Can I just give a shout out to the actress who like literally just every time she would have to play a different version of the mom, she just fucking committed.
Yeah, she
like in the club she like played even like a grown ass man
with the beard.
With the
and
beard.
stuff,
I was like, she committed, man. She fucking she went all out, bro.
The way she committed as the giant Starro.
Oh, that was funny.
To be honest, I thought we were just gonna like CGI her face in the eye and that's it.
Oh yeah,
That's right. I'm
glad they went full body.
They went full
Yeah.
body instead, so that was even great.
What'd you think about Polka Dot Man?
Man, the fact that they were in the building and they what was the dude's name?
Milton!
Milton, yeah. He's just when
got
Milton died, he's like, Milton died, and they're like, who the fuck's Milton? Like,
He was like, Milton was
you
here.
don't know who Milton was? He was with us the whole time.
I told
And the fact
Adrian.
that Harley Quinn thought that Polka Dot Man was named Milton.
I equated Milton to that guy, and I always forget his name. I brought it up to Adrian and Shine them. The guy from X Force.
Yeah,
the guy from X Force that didn't do nothing but he
Sugar
mattered.
Bear.
Yeah.
Go home, Sugar Bear.
All right, but
But
Polka
no,
Dot
I
Man.
thought Polka Dot Man was very good.
We thought he'd die earlier.
He died a heroic death, which I was disappointed.
He essentially
But-
made his mom proud. You know, his
Yeah.
mom did that for him to become a hero, and he became a hero in the end.
It was disturbing though with his mommy issues
All right.
that he was in the club dancing, all these girls were around him, and he was envisioning his mom around him. That was kind of disturbing.
Yeah. So,
But you know, other than that, good character.
yeah, let's get to the character who, in my opinion, was outside of her plot, was the consciousness and essentially kind of the humanity of the team, and like their Ratcatcher too. You know, she also brought up morals and how she used her dad to explain her reasoning, and I feel bad for her. I was like, damn, your dad OD'd even though he was super smart and all this, and then that she just wanted to make friends, and that she felt bad for everyone that died. Meanwhile, everyone's like, oh, he died. Oh, cool. Luis, I'll let you dive into that Ratcatcher too. Quote unquote, what you said, your favorite character, right?
Yeah, I loved her. She was great. I loved that Taika Waititi was her dad.
Yeah.
That was great. Really just having more Marvel invasion into DC.
I forgot about the Mantis actress too.
Which one?
Wasn't she the Asian girl that was dancing?
Oh yeah. Paul. I forgot that.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, but
But she
Mantis.
popped- yeah, she popped
Mantis is in the bar scene. She's dancing.
Yep.
She's one of the chicks.
Really?
Yeah,
that's her.
Yeah.
That's her.
That, like the Asian girl that's in the front dancing. Like,
It's
like
Mantis.
close up, like Mantis.
It's
You
Mantis.
gotta rewatch
yeah.
that,
And then
though.
also,
What the heck?
there was they had another cameo. Somebody did a voice. Somebody did a voice. I'll remember later.
There was quite a few cameos. in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
film.
But Ratcatcher 2.
You think
It was
she's gonna
very-
die in the next one?
No,
not.
I hope not.
You think she's gonna be one of those characters that sticks around?
Yeah, I think she's gonna pop in the Peacemaker show.
Oh yeah, she's
For
definitely.
sure.
Gonna.
Oh, for sure,
For
yeah.
sure.
I mean, because
Maybe she come
Peacemaker
back- come
almost
out in the
killed
end.
him. Almost killed her.
Like, she might come out like at the very end and like get her revenge.
What makes her your favorite character, Luis?
I think just because how centered she is, and
She cares more for others than herself.
Yeah, and she really shows sort of the depiction of like you can't judge a book by its cover. Like just because she fucking hangs out with rats doesn't mean she's like crazy or anything. Like arguably she's not crazy, right?
Harley Quinn is crazy.
Hey, Harley Quinn is insane.
But Ratcatcher, yeah.
Yeah, like Ratcatcher, I'm pretty sure she's in jail, like just like regular crimes, right? She's trying to fucking survive, right?
Like just like yeah,
think
just
she
like
killed
robbing
him.
money or
She
something
killed
like that. Probably theft. No, it was all theft.
Probably
Probably.
killed somebody, but
I mean, the rats hit them.
Sebastian the rat though, man. I think it's a clear reference to Sebastian Stan, right? I think
so.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw the movie, my head filled that in. Like Sebastian Stan.
I kind of related it to Ratatouille a little bit.
I mean, they codenamed their Ratatouille.
I also. I don't know if you guys are Ghost fans, but the band Ghost, they have a song called Rats. And that's the first thing that came into my head is Rats. But no, I liked her. I like it. I don't think she had much character development. Like you said, she was just there to ground everybody and be
Like their moral compass.
Yeah.
we're killing all these people. But that doesn't mean we're bad people.
Yeah, and she sort of
the sanity of the group.
and like she caused Nanawe to grow. She caused Polka Dot Man to grow a little bit too.
A little bit, and then
She caused every character.
Bloodsport, to like
She was like the catalyst holding the group together.
Yeah.
Everyone had their role, and that was her role. What did you think about it, Adrian?
She was another one of my favorite characters. Just like she's the one with the most creepiest, craziest power, but yet she's the one who's like the most sane and calm one out of everyone.
Yeah, and
was
she
there
didn't
a character
use it.
you didn't like in this movie?
Peacekeeper.
See, Peacemaker. He doesn't even bother to get his name right.
Oh, you see, exactly. I'm thinking of the gun.
Yeah, I got you.
Call of Duty gun. But no, when it comes to Ratcatcher, too, she was great. She was amazing. The way she played the role, I can relate to her about the deep sleeping though.
Yeah.
Every time she's like deep sleep, she's like every time they're like on a ride on something, she just knocks out.
And she's literally in a car full of like lunatic and psycho murderers, and she just knocks out like they're going on a trip somewhere. And yeah, she was like the more, she was the one that brought everyone's morality. Meanwhile, Peacemaker wanted to snipe a fucking maid just for cleaning a dish or something. And she was like, she essentially was bringing out that message that just because they're bad doesn't mean they're bad people. It's like,
exactly.
It's like that Wreck-It Ralph, when they're all in the, you're a bad guy, but you're not a bad guy. But yeah, so what'd you think of Ratcatcher 2?
Well, my first thought was like, why was there a Ratcatcher 1? But
They
no,
really kind of emphasized the 2, didn't they?
Yeah, right.
You really think about it.
I think it was just playing on like just trying to make fun of how like naming conventions in comics are just dumb like that.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's like that, like there's been multiple, like even with the Thinker, there's been multiple Thinkers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always like a 2 or 1 or 3.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, I thought that like everybody said, she kind of led every character development, including her own, and she allowed every character to grow either in a positive way or a negative way.
She brought out
Peacemaker.
she brought out their potential.
Yeah, she did, and I think that she'll be around for a hot minute, but I don't want to say she's gonna die in the next one, but
I feel like she might. Just like how I said Polka Dot Man.
Yeah,
like
well,
you know how
I mean, this movie brought out the premise that it doesn't matter. You can die at any point.
That is
Yeah.
So even if you survive this one, Rick Flag survived the first one.
Yeah,
He
you're
died in the
right.
second one.
Yeah.
No one. The idea that no one is safe was really my favorite part of the whole film in general. They teased King Shark that I thought he was going to die, but he lived. That doesn't mean he's going to survive in the next one. Who knows? Essentially.
the whole concept of this movie: live your life to the fullest.
Now
and
let's
best
get
way
to
possible.
let's get to probably Starro, the main villain. I have a few issues with Starro. However, I'll get into that. Was Starro a good villain? Would we have seen someone else? Yes, Peacemaker. I can't even fucking say his name. Basically, he was a villain within a villain, but that was just his idea. Starro was the villain. The whole thing of how I brought up, it was peaceful floating in space. You brought me here. That was really, I knew that was a James Gunn thing. But, if you've seen Young Justice and other stuff, Starro is, he's from another planet, and they send little stars, little like branches of himself. It's a huge giant woman one, and sends stars to other planets, and they infect them, and they travel. Basically, it's like a plague that they're trying to spread. So the idea is like, I was peaceful floating in space. I was like, that's cap. I've seen the TV shows. And Vandal Savage has beef with that creature, so I was wondering if he was going to make an appearance. But yeah, we'll go with you first, Luis. Starro, what'd you think?
I thought it was just interesting that like Starro was the original Justice League villain in the comic books.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, I find it funny that they brought it in for the Suicide Squad movie.
I was not expecting Starro.
I mean, we saw it in the first. He was in the first trailer.
Well, yeah. I mean, but when I heard the premise of Suicide Squad, it wasn't like Starro's the villain. I thought it would have been one of them that went rogue or some shit.
I mean, the whole point of Suicide Squad is they're always being sent to do a mission that is almost impossible with them almost no one surviving.
And I think the whole point of it too was like who really is the real villain, sort of thing, right? Because like we said, like
I mean, Starro didn't attack them.
that's what I'm saying. Like Starro was happy just floating around in the sky, looking at the fucking stars, and then
All right, give me this city.
Here-
He didn't want the whole planet. He just wanted the city.
Here comes old fucking US of A fucking government, and it's like, nah, we gonna go experiment on this thing. Like it's just like it's fucked up, man. My boy Starro just wanted to enjoy the stars, man.
Yeah, and
He didn't want to be a hive mind, man. They were
But from
torturing
the
poor
comics,
boy.
that shit's cap because I know what that creature's about. But the comics are not necessarily the movie. The comics are different from the movie.
I will say my favorite version of Starro in the comics is Jarro, the one that befriends Batman.
The one who becomes like his Robin.
Yeah,
honestly.
I would fucking kill for Jarro. I would commit murder for Jarro. Jarro's a good boy.
What about you,
Nobody
AJ?
touches Jarro.
Starro.
No, like I said, Starro was just basically that one boss that they just had to take care of to make the mission feel impossible.
And then you get it as a playable character. It's useless as fuck.
They're OP when you fight them, but they're not.
They're
but
useless when you
get
get
them.
For me, Starro was the threat, but the whole threat the whole time was the team, how they were going to work as a team. They're all bad guys, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if any one of them went rogue, and one did. Starro was just like the threat that's in front of them that their team needs to defeat while dealing with their internal problems. And Starro's just funny. He's like a big old starfish
wobbling
jumping
around.
By the way, their portrayal of like the starfish, you know, taking the people and stuff, that was fucking on point, awesome. It was just showed that, you know, once you get attached by that star, you're
dead.
you're not you anymore. You're a part of the being. What did you think about Starro?
It freaked me out a little bit, to be honest. Like,
Having a starfish eating your face.
yeah.
I mean, he's doing all this crazy shit, destroying buildings, but you just look at him and it's just hard to take him seriously.
Yeah,
he's just a
it
giant fucking
is, but,
starfish
like,
with an
I just
eye.
realized a joke in that.
Which one?
In a starfish eating
Your face.
instead of the other way around because of the joke Peacemaker makes. Where he's all like, starfish is common slang
It's
for
common
butthole.
for
It's the opposite. Ass is eating you now.
Oh,
You ain't eating ass. I just got that. I was gonna put James Gunn next level, bro.
Starro was a good fight villain, but he wasn't essentially the villain.
Anyway, although that is funny, but yeah, I think that Starro is he was a misunderstood villain in a way.
Oh yeah, he really was.
He was just chilling in space, doing his own thing. He was brought to Earth against his will, and he's just now, like, once he got released, he's like, all right, this is my city. Leave me alone.
But you remember, he also got tortured, so he was really pissed too.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise,
I mean, he's been in there for 30 years? I'd be mad too.
Otherwise, I'm going to eat your face. Essentially.
Yeah, my butthole's going on your face. Yeah, Starro was the villain, but you know, he wasn't a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, but he wasn't a bad guy.
Listen, he was holed for 30 years, experimented on. His rage was understandable, and he still needed to die anyways because that's just how it be. Now, end of the film. We already talked about Peacemaker surviving. Let's talk about the other soul survivor that I've been wanting to ask Luis this since we started. The Weasel, since you brought it up that you like him. I brought up, I was like, you know how animals they play dead or something? I kind of thought that's what was happening. What was your thoughts on Weasel surviving? He's probably going to be in the Peacemaker show.
Now he's going to eat
And the third
children.
one.
Now he's out in Cordo Maltese just eating kids.
Did you see how he ran though? Did you hear him? He's like, I was like, what the fuck is this?
He's like, where's the children to eat?
I mean, he's a weasel. He's innocent. Oh, well, not exactly innocent. He ate 27 children. But yeah, Weasel surviving. What do you think? And what do you think he's going to do?
I was gonna eat kids, fool.
From the ones that are left.
A whole ass buffet.
I thought it was funny. I mean, I understand why you couldn't have like two anthropomorphic characters. It would just been derivative, having the Nawe and Weasel. I think we'll get like small little brief glimpses. I don't think Weasel will ever be a full-on member. Or
He'll just be of a joke character that
he'll pop up once in a while.
I feel like he's just gonna pop out like in the background.
Yeah.
You're
You're like, oh, there's Weasel.
I feel like that's it.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
think he's gonna be the Where's Waldo of the
question is-
Suicide Squad
Exactly.
franchise?
Yeah.
I just
He's gonna be
remembered
the Where's Waldo
Yep.
of the DC
Weasel,
universe.
Weasel's the other MCU cameo I was thinking about because Weasel's played by Sean Gunn,
Yeah, it was.
who does Rocket and Kraglin in Guardians. So
I just thought it was so funny how he died, and at the end he's just like,
Hey,
"Huh? What the
side
hell
note.
happened here?"
a side note, now that I brought up Rocket, I know we're talking about Suicide Squad, but y'all ever like remember that like Bradley Cooper voices Rocket?
Yeah.
Like I forget. It's just random side note. It's just I always fucking trip whenever I get
Yeah.
that
Do
shit.
you guys think he's gonna be in the Peacekeeper or Peacemaker?
He'll
TV
be in
show?
Suicide Squad 2.
He'll
Three?
3?
2.
Oh, you're not. Oh, yeah, we're not counting the first one too. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess 3.
My question is that I don't know if I'm the only one that sees this, but to me, and from my perspective, he looks more like a rat than a weasel. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
No. Werewolf.
Yeah, we're.
oh yeah,
I'll be right. I'll be real with you. I don't know exactly what a weasel looks like.
What fucking dog is this?
What kind of breed?
he barely had any hair on him, and he's just like
He's a fucking
real
werewolf.
weird
Get him away
looking.
from me. And Harvey's just like, I want to meet him. Hi.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I kept looking at him, he just looked like Dante.
And he had a
Dante from
rat
Coco,
tail.
the dog.
Like, what the
Dante.
hell?
With a little bit of fur.
like Dante.
Oh, that's what a weasel looks like.
I was gonna say just
Yeah,
remember
that does
Trump
not
with
look
the
like
Pokemon
Weasel.
from the-
Well, he's
No.
like a man weasel.
Oh,
He's like a tweaked out.
wasn't that a
Yeah, he's like a meth head weasel.
yeah,
So yeah, no, like a crackhead
I
weasel.
agree with that. He's gonna be the Where's Waldo of DC. Who knows if he'll just be in Suicide Squad? He might be popping up in the
I
other
feel like
movies.
he'll be great just to pop
It'll
out,
be
like,
Aquaman
randomly.
2 and they're fucking underwater and he's
Yeah,
just
he's-
like...
He finally learned how to swim. He finally
Yeah,
learned
he
how to
takes
finally
it-
learned how to swim.
He's like, he picks up a kid.
Yeah, I think Weasel, you know, I knew he wasn't dead, but the fact that they showed him just like reassured me. And I'm not gonna lie, when we watched it, thank God we watched it on HBO Max because we had to fucking pause it. The fact that he just immediately died, that shit was so funny.
That shit was hilarious, bro. I could not stop laughing.
But yeah, you know,
I'm gonna go home and watch Suicide Squad right now.
Starro was a funny villain too. Like he hit him in the leg, and then all his clones were like ah, and they're all just on their leg. It was funny. I mean, honestly, that movie was just what I expected the first one to be, outside of the crazy gypsy dancing bitch as the villain. Gypsy dancing bitch. I don't know.
Cara Delevingne played the character, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck was the name of it?
Fucking possessed
What was,
crazy lady.
Enchantress. She was Enchantress. Yeah. God, that movie was crazy.
When you really think about it, that movie was fucking crazy.
What I hated the most was
Crack, bro.
the minions, how they looked. They were.
I can't even remember that.
Yeah,
They looked
I
like
didn't even
weird
acknowledge
molded
their
shit or rock.
I
Like
don't even
putties
know
from
what's going
Power
on.
Rangers?
I think so.
We should do
first
a review on the original Suicide Squad.
I'm down.
Just to shit on it.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to bring up? I feel like we
Well,
hit.
quick in defense of Suicide Squad, the first one, that's been recorded that like DC they put their hands in it too much and they fucked up the edit. And there's an Ayer cut out there somewhere. Bring out the Ayer cut.
It's funny how
Like the
DC
Snyder
before they
Cut.
release it, they just make it shit, and then they're like, "Oh wait, this was bad. Let me release the 8-hour movie that might have happened."
We'll talk about this later. But we should do a Justice League 4-hour review.
Yes.
I'm down. All right, so we talked about the movie. We'll start with you, Luis. Did your rating change?
Oh, it's a
up,
buy,
down, where
it's
it
a
went, man?
buy-worthy, homie.
You think
I'm
it's
gonna buy it,
buy-worthy?
rewatch it. Once it gets off HBO Max, I'll buy it on Blu-ray. Hell yeah, I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah. What about you, Adrian?
Mine is definitely a buy worthy. Like
Yeah.
it's worth it. Like I didn't think too much of it, but once you started seeing more of the trailers with what James Gunn did, I was like, no, it's gonna be a good movie.
Honestly, I think the main part of buying it is just to see all the funny ass bloopers that are going to
The
be in
deleted
there.
scenes.
The deleted scene. Honestly, I went in there. I was like, maybe once is good enough. Who knows? I mean, James Gunn, so maybe it might have been I'd see it again, which I actually did. For me, it definitely changed to a buy worthy. the fact that just the scenes that I would just fast forward to rewatch over and over again, like with the scene where they're competing and they just fucking shoot the guy in the shower, or they shoot the guy and they kill him with the fan going in there. I would definitely buy this movie. It was hilarious. I'd put it up there as one of DC doing us a solid, providing us with a movie that we expect DC to do.
I mean, this is when
maybe DC's just a better villains movie creator than heroes.
No, it's more like Warner Brothers finally gave a director like free range of how to do a
executive
movie.
Control, essentially.
Yeah. But watch there be like a James Gunn for hour.
I'm pretty sure there is. What about you, Murph? Change?
Well, it definitely changed.
Does it make you want to watch the first one?
You have to watch.
I mean, I guess
watch the
I
first
have
one.
to watch the first one.
You have to watch the first
but-
one to appreciate this one for its glory.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I need to watch the first one to appreciate the second one, and that is my sole reason why I'm putting it as I'd see it again, because I don't know how bad the first one was, and I think just my thoughts on DC movies in general. We'll get to that in another podcast because I will go on a rant and a half about it.
Yeah, Shai's giving us the hurry the hell up.
Yeah,
and I'm not getting in trouble for this.
And but yeah, no, I'd give it as I'd see it again.
Honestly, this one was so good that it just made you realize all the faults with the first one. Like, everyone put this one in the dumpster as well, outside of the trailers. They heard another Suicide Squad was happening, and they're like, eh. But then you saw the trailer, and you're like, huh, this might be worth watching. Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening in. We appreciate everyone, and we want you to be a part of the conversation. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are we geniuses? Are we fucking idiots?
Subscribe to us if you like us.
Yeah, subscribe. What's your opinion? Let's talk about it.
Why are you holding a box?
Because he wants to throw it at Lindsay. Make sure, again, you watch our introductory video so you get to know us better, where the voice is, beyond the screen, and that way you get to hear our own thoughts on stuff. Make sure you check out our How We Rate Movies, and also make sure you tune in next week or whenever the heck we drop it for our next podcast on Free Guy, where we talk about Ryan Reynolds' new hit movie.
Talk about the IG.
Yeah, and let me finish my thought. God damn it! This is my outro.
We need to talk about the IG, okay?
It has more followers than our fucking YouTube channel. Everyone knows.
This is true. This is very true.
Or Free Guy. They give a new take on an NPC. Should they stay in the background or should it come out into the light? Check out that podcast coming soon to find out. And remember, you can be nerds about anything, but we're nerds about everything. Peace out. Have a good one.
See ya.
Night.
Later.